Well, here we are at the end of day one of the 2020 Proof Awards, and the 100-point winners are stacking up. Number 5 was recently crowned. I'm holding it up in my hand. A really unanimous decision from the judges. The judges today are an esteemed group of connoisseurs from around the country, from the industry. And maybe you recognize my next guest, one of my fellow judges today, Peter Madrigal. Of course, you've seen him and fallen truly in love with him on Vanderpump Rules. But one of the things most people don't appreciate about his connoisseurship is that he does a lot to make people all over the world, all over the country, begin to appreciate their own connoisseurship. It's an expression of self-awareness. I give him an awful lot of credit for helping all of us try to have more delicious, try to have more irresistible with every sip and bite. Nobody calls somebody like that, that does something that big for us, that gives us such a profound gift. Well, I'm kind of looking for some words. He's more than a mentor, he's more than a teacher. He inspires us on every episode, and if you've had a chance to watch him on Bravo, well, then you know. It's really a pleasure to be sitting at the judges' table with the one and only Peter Madrigal. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so happy to get a chance to talk to you because I'm actually a big fan of how you are as a teacher. And I don't know that you describe yourself as a teacher.
No,
yes,
no, I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't describe myself
yes,
as a teacher.
You go on the Bravo Clubhouse. Yes, you do all these things. How do you describe what it is that you get to do and the privilege of the platform that you have? Because you obviously love what it is we share.
How would I describe the privilege? I'm honored to be in this position. I've never actually taken it for granted. So
let's talk a little bit about how important connoisseurship and sips are in the Bravo universe. Out of everything, I mean, I think they get short shrift. They don't get as much credit as they deserve.
wait. Whoa. Time out. Did you just say how important sips are? Because on Bravo, we don't take sips. We actually drink. I mean, it's gulp. Okay, like right now, I have a tequila right here. It smells really nice. All right, and see what we were doing today is just like this. You know, we're just tasting, taking a sip, not even putting anything on the palate. Now, what we do on Bravo, totally opposite. All right, it's like cheers. You have a lot of it. Okay, you don't take sips. You take gulps. You can big gulp this.
Listen, I've just been brought a little Quafford neat glass of the same gorgeous stuff that you're tasting. Well, I don't mean to make fun of this in any way.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. I'm making fun of myself.
In any way, what happens on Bravo? We can talk about it like they do shots and they have drinking. The truth is, there's an elevation that has occurred culturally because of what you all do. Thanks to Andy, thanks to you, thanks to the Vanderpump crew. Talk a little bit about how important what you think you've been able to do is to awaken all of us to the fact that better is in fact better, and that we all owe ourselves to get better, try better. Would you talk a little bit about that? I know it's a little uncomfortable because it's self-serving, but you guys have done a hell of a job of reminding us about what connoisseurship is.
Well, here's the thing. What I've seen in recent years is that there have been more and more companies that have risen up, and more people, more and more, alcohol companies that have come about and have tried to like really make an impact. It's no longer just your standards, Grey Goose or Belvedere. Now you have like these hidden gems, which is what we're trying out today. Or in these next couple of days, we're trying out all these new products, and that's what I really appreciate about the modern world. It's like, okay, well, you know what? I can put together a better alcohol than what's being mass produced. And for me, that's just an awesome thing.
Have you ever gotten a chance to bartend at the clubhouse?
Which clubhouse?
The Bravo clubhouse, Andy's clubhouse.
Oh, yes, I have.
So take us backstage to Andy's clubhouse. How many of the things you tasted today are good enough to make it to the clubhouse?
How many? I think, well, whatever I've judged today would be good enough to make it to the clubhouse. Seriously, like even this right here, this is a mezcal that I'm drinking. You can see, you can smell it actually from a mile away that this is a mezcal,
Yeah.
and this would be good enough. I could make a Peterita out of this. This would be an awesome Peterita because it's not. I mean, it's mezcal, but you add a little bit of the Peter flavor, and all of a sudden you get a nice little drink.
Listen, I want to tell you that not only are you the king of Los Angeles, but you're the king of the
No, I'm not.
airwaves in the podcast world because you host a podcast that takes us all together to one of the happiest happy hours in town. Can you talk a little bit about your happy hour show?
Social happy hour with yours truly, Peter Madrigal and Johnny Tilapia Ariola. Every Tuesday and Thursday we talk. We get together and we talk about things that are probably going on in the world. That's the way it started. I was going live on Instagram and I was asking people how they were doing, and I just bring on random people. Now it's become like a PG-13 Howard Stern. So I'm going on there talking about relationships, talking about dating apps. I'm talking about like for instance, tomorrow when I go on, it's going to be a special Hump Day edition of Social Happy Hour with Peter. We're going to do Wednesday, and I'm going to be talking to hopefully nothing gets in the way because sometimes you can get canceled or whatever, but you have cancellations. But tomorrow we're talking to the KFC heiress, and she is started her own lingerie line. So that'll be very interesting. That'll be a very interesting conversation. And we're doing good.
So what are you going to serve? Is this going to be like a fat wash bourbon kind of sip that goes with something like that?
I don't know. I'm going to do an aged tequila, something in a snifter. I'm going to use.
Hey, listen, Peter. I have to take this opportunity. I spend a lot of time in Tucson, Arizona. I've called it home for many years. And I was one of the founders of the World Margarita Championships that has morphed into a 10-day agave spirits festival called the Southwest Spirits Festival. Okay. And the tequilas, the bacanoras, the mezcals, the sotols, the whole category of agave spirits is really blooming beautifully like a gorgeous desert cactus flower. Will you come as my guest and come
Absolutely, on I'm there. Absolutely, yes. Put me on the next flight. Let's go. Seriously, put me on the next flight. Let's go. When's this happening? Let's rock and roll. I'm ready. I'm going. I'm already there. I'm spiritually there for the last couple of them.
Seriously though, this is the kind of moonshine that people want to get in their Jeep and drive out into the desert to find. These homemade bacanoras, some of which you'll never taste it again because the conditions will never be the same again. When you taste something like that, it's truly remarkable.
So it's a very unique spirit.
But is that what you're saying? It's magical. It's got the magic of the desert.
Here's the thing. I want to be a mixologist today, and or bartender, and make something out of this. I wish I could get some limes, some lemons, some oranges, and make a Peterita out of this because that would be spectacular.
Peter Madrigal, I have to tell you, I know people. I can get you those things. And
really?
We'll be mixing up soon. Yeah, we'll swing into action and we'll do a little post log from this interview.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. The opportunity to find you online. Where is your social happy hour?
My social happy hour, we go across 3 different platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Periscope, which is Twitter, and we're also on what was the other one? YouTube, a YouTube channel. So all you have to do is just type in petermadrigal.live, and it'll take you directly to the YouTube channel. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm going to raise my glass and ask you to share. Do you have a signature toast that's a personal toast of yours? Wait. Are you hearing what I'm hearing?
We have 100.
You just heard the hammer go down. That
we just got 100.
Live. You just heard it too. That's what happens when we get a 100-point winner. Somebody at their table has consensus among the 3 judges at the table that something is worthy of 100 points.
Wow.
That is where we're going to have to go and check this out.
I'm happy to be part of this.
I know I'm not supposed to. I know I'm not supposed to
do
this.
It.
I know
I'm
not supposed to walk around, but we got to do this.
Yeah, do it.
Judges, will you
Absolutely.
raise your hand? Who just banged the gavel?
Who banged the gavel?
This is super exciting. We're walking down here. We are broadcasting live right now from the 2020 Proof Awards, and table number 4, we just heard the gavel. And let me see if I can get a shot of what's going on here. It's exciting. So where
How's it
are
going,
we?
gentlemen?
What's the category? What did they say that we're having?
Bourbon. It's brown sugar, cinnamon, bourbon.
Brown sugar, cinnamon, bourbon. It doesn't sound like something that would necessarily jump off the page and tell me that it's remarkable. What happened?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what spoke to you when you sipped it?
The flavor profile is great. It's very subtle, not overbearing. Perfect.
So when someone says brown sugar, cinnamon, bourbon, you can imagine how that could go wrong in 100 ways.
Not too much sugar. It's not very.
How did it go right?
It's an easy sipping bourbon.
Peter, how did it go right?
How did it go right?
What did they do right on this one? What made it irresistible? Because when you get to 100 points, that's just another way of saying irresistible.
Well, in my opinion, the nose and the palate have to, you've got to have both. Because sometimes we can get a great nose, and then when we taste it, we're not getting the same aroma profile.
Right.
In this case, when we smelled it, we were all 5s right away. We were all judging it with high scores, and then when we tasted it, there was even more complexity. So it just kept getting better.
And tell everybody what your name is.
My name is Christine Serna.
And what company are you here representing?
I am with Arcilica, and we make this lovely little glass. I'm one of the co-inventors along with George Manska. And the neat glass is something I've been passionate about for 10 years now.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And sir, for introducing this to us, can I have you identify your keen palate and fabulous beard for the audience?
My name is Ryan Kessler, and I work for Opulent Wine and Spirits.
Thank you very much for doing this today. And I'm going to join Peter again and say, we've got to get a sip of this and figure out what's going on. So Peter, when we have these things going on in the room, it's kind of amazing, but literally 100 points just like that. It's hard to describe to people how good something has to be to just announce itself and articulate itself with that 100-point wonder. But that's exactly what happens. You're sipping and everything's at a high level, and then boom, you find a star. How much is that like what you experience in Los Angeles? How much of that is like what happens when you audition 100 people and then you find just the right person for the role? Will you talk a little bit about how in almost all things, that's what happens? Something just rises head and shoulders above the rest?
Well, it's like finding lightning in a bottle, you know what I mean? And I don't usually say it, but it has to be just right. When I say Peter like, Peter love, Peter wants more of, that's when you're having 100. So I've done that already today with one tequila. We had a 100-point special on one tequila. It was spectacular. So when
Peter,
I'm looking for, it's like lightning in a bottle. Let's just put it that way.
How often, because when you're in such a visible place and program and platform as you have on Vanderpump Rules, and people come to you with all kinds of things, how good does something have to be to get onto your lists, onto your cocktail list, behind your bar, your top shelf? How special does it need to be? Talk a little bit about your standard of irresistible and how at your restaurant, your team strives to get to that irresistible level.
Okay, so one thing that we will that I will put out there, as far as like alcohol goes, what's on our top shelf, that's that's a different conversation. That's an internal conversation, let's put it that way. But as far as the drinks go, on the drink menu, everything has to be muddled, everything has to be fresh, everything has to be like put together like a mixologist would. Our bartenders have to they have to build each cocktail. It's not like you don't just, unless you're ordering a vodka soda or vodka cran, you can't just throw everything together. You have to build it. You have to put in, let's say with the mojito, you have to put in some mint and then 3 limes, exactly 3. That's it, and then some raspberries. It's like you can't shortcut things where we're at.
Well, I expected that we were going to have a shorter conversation, but what do you do when the gavel gets pounded on the table for a 100-point play, you got to go with it. Peter, this was an awful lot of fun, and I am
Well,
looking
thank you.
forward to handing you some limes in a couple of minutes and see what a Peter Rita actually tastes like in real life.
Okay,
More
well,
information,
before
you can
before
visit-
we, what's your cheers? Let's do your cheers. What is it? Give it to me.
You know, my favorite cheer comes from Julia Child. When I asked her what her house toast that she shared with her guests and her husband when they came to her home, she said to me in the loveliest French, Le Carillon de l'Amitié, the bells of friendship. So may we hear the bells of friendship when we clink our glasses together.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Boom. Bells of friendship. Peter like, Peter love the bells of friendship.
To the bells of friendship.
There we
Here
go.
at the 2020 Proof Awards, Peter Madrigal, thank you so very much for being with us
You're
today
welcome.
as a judge and as a colleague on our tasting live
You're welcome. Thank you.
from the Green Valley Ranch. I'm Jennifer English, and this is Proof Live in our somewhat cavernous yet commodious Proof Saloon. We'll be back tomorrow with more, and if I'm lucky, I can get Peter to squeeze a couple limes for me and make me a Peter Rita. And we'll let you know, well, I can tell you, it's going to be delicious. I can already tell. But thank you so much for spending time with us. And for more information about the Proof Awards, you can go to Proof Awards online and join us tomorrow as we're going to go through an astonishing array. But if you are a brand, the 100-point winners, I think our count is now up to 6. We have 6 100-point winners out of over 500 products. It means 700 products. I apologize. That's Michael Politz in the background, publisher of Food and Beverage Magazine. I hope you all will get a chance to taste some of these. And remember, one of the fun things we can all do is if you see something that sounds interesting, you can send this to someone as a holiday gift and do a tasting from your respective homes and clink glasses virtually while we still need to. And imagine tasting this and tasting notes like we did here today with one another, introducing people to new things. You know, one of the things this is the America's Got Talent of the spirits world, and Peter and I are lucky to be the judges. You can be too, just by taking a sip and seeing if it suits you. Well, we're going to wrap up, and until tomorrow from the Proof Saloon and the 2020 Proof Awards, I'm Jennifer English. Thanks for joining us.
Whether you are thinking about becoming a restaurateur or you are already in the business, Michael Politz has written a must-read, The Food and Beverage Magazine's Guide to Restaurant Success. Pick up your copy today at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, or wherever fine books are